ekifo buli omu kyasobola okuba nga yeeyagaliramu ng'akola emirimu. Nange nasobola okufuna omwoga ogwa TikTok kwenkolera emirimu nga promoting Uganda positively. And another thing, I want to thank you for being a good father. Look at Natasha, Precious, Kamwine, my cousin. If it wasn't them, I wouldn't have been here. It is such a very big recognition for us who is fight for the government online. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? We've seen you on several occasions, you're doing the press-ups. Even recently, yesterday, I saw you standing in the rain without moving. Like, what motivates you to do all that at that age? And another thing, Mr. President, I'm 30 years, but I always pray for you. I no longer pray for myself. I pray for you. You live longer and longer. At least on my age, they subtract some age to give to you so that you can keep this country intact. Because at least maybe my purpose will not be very much, but your presence, over 40 million people are relying on you. They are there dancing, they are there fishing, farming, and all those things. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? My name is Sean Ibrahim.
Now, what motivates me is because I love myself. I love myself as a person of the Cow clan, Owente, as a Munyankore Mhororo, as a Ugandan, as an African. I'm very, 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 I love you people. Now I have children. All of you are my children and grandchildren. And we could see from the 60s when we started following, we could see that if we didn't do this or that, we could be in danger. Could be in danger. The world is not kind. If you are weak, you can disappear. And I don't want my race, my African people, to disappear or to become slaves. Because when you hear America, the people who call Americans now are Europeans who went and took the land of the Indians. Because the Indians were stupid, they were not organized. And the Europeans had already tried to take our land. Those who came to South Africa, they are taking the land. In South Africa, in Zimbabwe, even here in Kenya, in the 1950s, we were learning of something they were calling the White Highlands. Part of Kenya was regarded as White Highlands. That's what they were teaching us. But what happened at that time, there were changes in the world which favored us. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. Our stupid chiefs had failed to defend us because they were fighting among themselves. So the whole of Africa had been colonized. But what happened was that in 1912, the Africans in South Africa formed the first resistance movement, the ANC. They formed more than people now. Actually, it started in the US, the black people there. Some of them started Pan-Africanism. There was a man called Marcus Garvey, another one called something else, I've forgotten their name, W.B. Du Bois. They started talking about African freedom, African freedom, when the whole of Africa had been colonized, except for Ethiopia. So in 1912, the Africans formed the ANC to resist. Then in 1917, we had good luck. Russia was taken over by communists. These were people who had a different idea. They didn't agree with imperialism. The communists, they took over Russia. So they started working with our anti-colonial fighters. And then also, African witchcraft worked. Because the Europeans, because of their greed, started fighting among themselves. The First World War. Our African magic worked. They started fighting among themselves. The Germans and the British and all that group. And they mobilized our grandparents to go and fight for them. So our grandparents went and saw, oh, okay, this is how you fight with modern arms. So by the time they ended this First World War, their quarrels didn't end. Then they started the Second World War. That was even worse for them.